I'm Spencer Hughes. Thanks a lot for being here on Hughes from the Heart, the Spencer Hughes Positivity Podcast. In just a moment, an interview with a 7-year-old young man that'll just blow you away. I cannot believe he's accomplished so much in his short time on this planet. It really is incredible and a great encouragement and motivation for the rest of us to get off our duffs and actually do something for the betterment of humankind, right? I want to tell you first about one of my sponsors, River Dance Soapworks. They make my favorite soaps in the world. They're right here in Mason County, Washington, 20 minutes from my front door. And they make the best soaps I've ever used at an incredible price. They're so modestly priced. I begged them to raise the prices. Thankfully for you, they won't listen to me. Artisan soaps, bath salts and fizzies, lip balms, body butters, and more. Please help keep our sponsors happy. It keeps the podcast free here, and you can order gift boxes for everyone on your list. And the holidays are coming up, and you may be racking your brain what to get that special someone. Everyone loves the gift of self-care. Check them out at riverdancesoapworks.com. riverdancesoapworks.com. If you like what you hear on the podcast today and every day, please consider supporting the premium content at patreon.com/Spencer Hughes. And that information is in the show notes as always. We have a very special guest with us right now. Kavanaugh Bell, welcome to the show. Thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you.
I was so inspired, my friend, when I saw this story. I'm always looking for, I do a positivity show and a positivity podcast, and I'm always trying to find stories that'll make people feel good. And I found yours, I don't even remember where now. It might have been the Washington Post. It might have been People magazine. You've been everywhere. How did this all start? It started with your concern for your grandmother, correct? She was in an assisted living home?
So, yes. When the pandemic hit, I didn't want my grandma to catch coronavirus and all the other senior citizens in my community. So that's why I decided to use my life savings to make care packs for them. And a bunch of people heard my story, and they started donating from all around the world. And I used those donations to start the Love is Greater Than COVID-19 Community Pantry.
That's fantastic. So you did something that a lot of kids or aunts even older than you would not have thought of doing, and that is using your birthday money, right? Was this Christmas money as well? This was money you had saved, and you could have bought yourself some headphones, you could have bought yourself an Xbox, you could have bought yourself a bicycle, a scooter, whatever that you'd want to buy. And instead you did this for other people. That's so wonderful. Where did that inspiration come from? Because I wish there were more people like you that at a young age would think that way. Because a lot of people, even as adults, tend to be kind of, a little bit selfish where they think only of themselves, but you were thinking of other people.
Yeah. So really, like when the pandemic hit, it kind of changed me. It was like a spark came into me that made me want to help others with the pandemic and make sure that they have what they need.
Because it's scary. It's scary for people to go out there, especially the elderly, like your grandmother, who are maybe not able to get out, or if they do, they're concerned about getting sick, and it can be very deadly for those who are older. So you helped put care packages with toiletries and groceries together. And how did that feel to you, Kavanaugh, when you saw people around the country and even in other countries donating to your cause?
It made me feel beautiful inside. It just made me feel happy because I was inspiring other people and adults and kids from all over the world, like Australia and England. They said it was like Australia and England, and I'm just happy that I was able to inspire them.
So you did the food pantry for the seniors and helping them with groceries and everybody donating. And then how did this come about where you started focusing on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation? You're in Maryland, right? This is in South Dakota. It's one of the most poor communities in the entire country. What was your connection with that reservation, or how did you find out about them, and how did you decide to help them too?
So yes, why I decided to help Pine Ridge is because I just remembered that I'm half Native American. So that's why I decided that I wanted to help my community. So that's why I sent a 53-foot tractor trailer truck full of COVID supplies to the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota.
How was that trip? That was probably quite the adventure, huh?
Yeah, we actually went there, but I I did not send one, I sent two. But the first one we went and we almost got lost. But then we found the lady's house, but then we got stuck in a hailstorm.
Oh, wow. I know the weather can be pretty crazy out there. Your mom is named Lacey, and she's a wonderful lady that I talked to originally to set up this interview with you. And she can't be prouder, as you know, of you, her son, doing this. How did your mom feel when you first said you wanted to do this, when it went from just the senior assisted living facility to something broader and bigger scope? What was her reaction?
Her reaction was just, like, she said, well, you're a very special kid. I thought you were just going to be like kids. They just care about themselves and they don't want to help others. But she said that I'm very selfless, and she said she hopes that when I grow up, I'll be able to be a good person and make sure that my community is safe.
Well, that is fantastic. That gives us all hope for the future when kids at a young age are caring as much as you are, Kavanaugh. If I tell people about your GoFundMe, are you still accepting donations through that, or is that a closed GoFundMe, or is it always open?
That's still open.
It's still open. So that's COVID-19 Community Pantry. If people search for that on GoFundMe, they go to GoFundMe.com.
Do you want to know how much money I raised this year?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
So with GoFundMe, I raised $146,000.
Wow. Are you kidding me? $146,000?
Yeah. But why? But really, like, when the Washington Post and the, what's it called else? The other one, when they posted, like, the whole thing, I got $4,000 that day.
Wow. Just in the first day that people saw that in the news?
Yep.
Now tell us a little bit about, I want people to go to coolanddope.com. So this is a whole separate thing too, that it's kind of connected with what you're doing, but you are also very outspoken against bullying, right?
Yeah. But, like, since the pandemic hit, I just had to focus on helping helping people in the pandemic, and just put bullying to the side. Then, when the pandemic is over, I will get back to bullying.
And you were bullied yourself, right? Some kids were mean to you?
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel? Because I have 6 kids, Kavanaugh, and I hated when they got bullied. A couple of them got bullied in school, and it broke my heart. It made me very angry. What does that feel like on the receiving end? I remember being teased and stuff when I was a kid, back when I was a little bit older than you, and it hurts, doesn't it? People say, words don't hurt, but they can hurt very deeply. What were they teasing you about?
How I wasn't eating, and how bigger I was, and how I was doing work faster than others.
Isn't that crazy? Sometimes you get teased for being smart. Isn't it weird? Like, you get teased either way. If they consider you kind of dumb and stupid, they'll call you that. And if you're smart and genius, then they make fun of you.
And here's the worst part about being at this school. They bullied me, and the teacher bullied everyone in the school, even the bullies. Because if no one ate her food, if no one liked to eat the food that she had, she would take the bowl when your mouth was full, drag you by your collar of your shirt into the bathroom, and then shut the door on you in the bathroom.
Come on. Who did this? The teacher did this?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That makes me very angry to hear.
It happened to me before when I was being bullied, because I didn't eat for 11 weeks, and I had to go through that for 11 weeks.
11 weeks? My goodness, that's so stressful. And I'm hoping, without getting too much into this, I'm hoping that teacher was talked to, and the administrators and his bosses took care of that. Were they disciplined for that, I hope?
No, it was not. No. It was not a school. It was a house school, so there's nothing you can do.
It was like a homeschooling?
We were literally in the lady's house learning Chinese, so no one could stop her.
Oh, my goodness.
Not even her own son and daughter.
Wow. So what did you do? You told your mom about this? You told her when you were being bullied? Did you
Yeah,
tell her right away?
everybody did. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that. It's an awful thing.
She talked to the teacher about it, but then the teacher just didn't do anything, and she started bullying me again.
Oh, boy. Well, so you're so busy with all of this donation stuff and helping people with the food pantry. The bullying stuff's kind of gone on hold, but I want people to still bookmark that website of yours because it's still active and they can still help you there. And they can also donate to the pantry on your website, too, coolanddope.com. Were you able to meet some of the people on the reservation when you went there, when you drove all the way out to South Dakota and took that trailer full of supplies and stuff? Were you able to meet the families and the kids and stuff?
Meet families what?
Were you able to meet the families at the reservation when you went to the...
So I was able to meet one family, which it was the family where we were going to, but it literally looked like really nothing.
It was just so much poverty.
It looked like nothing.
Yeah, it's very sad.
But we saw the house every like 10 minutes or 20 or so.
Yeah.
But really, it looked like everyone had moved out and got a ride or somewhere. Because it didn't look like there was anyone in the houses. The houses were dark, looked like they were like burnt down and stuff.
Wow. Yes.
But when we got stuck in that hailstorm, she said for how long she's lived in Pine Ridge. She lives there since she was a little kid. I think she's about 57. So since she lives in Pine Ridge for 57 years, she said that was the craziest hailstorm that she has ever been in. Because she said nothing like that has ever happened before.
Well, what are your plans, Kavanaugh? You're only 7 years old and you've accomplished more than most people do in their whole life. What's left for you? What's your next plan? You're going to go back to the anti-bullying campaign when COVID kind of winds down and is over. What else do you foresee? You know, when you're older, you get into high school and college and stuff. What kind of plans do you have?
Maybe I want to be a cop.
Yeah, they could sure use a lot of help right now, huh? They need a lot of support. And I've had really good friends who have been police officers and family members too. And it's a very tough occupation, probably tougher now than ever before, but they could sure use some good people like you, that's for sure. Well, Kavanaugh, I appreciate you being with me, okay? And I want people to check out coolanddope.com. They can look for that GoFundMe as well. Do you have any other website or anything you want people to go to?
My Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, all Cool Dope Living. Cool Dope Living for Instagram, Cool Dope Living for Facebook, and Cool Dope Living for Twitter.
Well, that's easy to remember. Cool Dope Living. Kavanaugh, thanks a lot for everything you've done. You're a great kid. I'm very, very proud of everything you're doing, and you're a great inspiration to all of us. So thanks for being with us here, okay? And keep up the great work.
Thank you.